What's up, tribe? How you doing? We back. We are back. How's everybody doing? Lord, my head look a mess, child. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Okay. How is everybody doing? Happy Sunday. I'm guessing that the notifications did not go out, but that's okay. Well, we're gonna rock with who we rock with, y'all. What's up? I see Mia in the chat, Cool Gamer, and Jonathan. Mwah. What's up, big bro? How you guys doing? Good. Good to see that green in the chat. Welcome to my members. So we got a whole we got a full day, y'all. We got a full day because I'm gonna still do a tribe meeting in about 3 o'clock. I guess about 5:36. I'm gonna do a tribe meeting. And I may or may not do the Real Housewives of Potomac live. Y'all tell me. I feel like the episode is gonna be good because we saw the previews were real good, child. They was cutting up in them previews. So if I feel like I got something to talk about, child, we're gonna talk about it. Let me share this out on my community tab. Because I do not think the notification is going out. Well, I know the notification ain't going out. But it's okay. Like I said, we're going to share it out and then we're going to move forward. I do have a quick announcement to make before we get into this Love and Marriage Huntsville review. Or the notification might have went out. Maybe don't nobody care about Love and Marriage Huntsville. If don't nobody care about it, child, I could have done this as a recorded video. Don't nobody care. I don't know. Is the show draining y'all? Is that why? So I definitely. Oh Lord. Okay. But anyway, let's get into it. So I do have an announcement that I need to make though. On Tuesday, we got something happening over here. Excuse me. Tuesday, we got something going down over here. Let me let you guys know what's going to be happening on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I am going to have a sit-down interview with Simone and Rashid. Y'all know that's where I was on Friday. I was at their engagement party. They premiered the trailer for their new web reality series that they're putting on their platform called Ready to Wed. And we're just going to get into some things. We're going to talk about, what is there to expect, what we're going to talk about it all. We're going to, for those of you who were not there for a part of their journey from the beginning, if you don't watch Ready to Love, you guys are going to find out how they met, how they fell in love. And then we're going to, like I said, we're going to talk about all things dealing with their web reality series, you guys. So that is supposed to be going down Tuesday. Look for it Tuesday evening. Right now we're trying to confirm the time, but I'm looking at 7:00 my time, 6:00 their time, because they're in Houston, they're in Central Standard Time, so they're an hour. So we're looking at 7:00 my time, East Coast time. But I will definitely, once I don't have the time on there. Once I have confirmed the time, which it might be confirmed while we're live. I'm just waiting to hear back from her to confirm it. Once we confirm it, we're good to go. Okay. So y'all meet me back here Tuesday so we can talk about this. All right, let's get into this. Okay. Let's get into this. Now, the second part of the reunion went down last night, child, and I just got finished looking at it. Thank you, everybody. I got one. The show is definitely draining. I stopped watching it, but I'm watching the reunion. Yeah, and maybe that's what it is. Honestly, maybe that's what it is. Maybe everybody is just over it. This was a long season. One thing Carlos King is going to do is Carlos King is going to produce a show. And I believe that when that fight happened, they saw production felt like, oh, we're gonna knock all of this out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna drain this for all that is there to drain. I also think that there are some people, and this is going to be controversial, and some of y'all are going to be mad at me, and that's okay. I love y'all anyway. But there's just some people that shouldn't be on this show. You have to have a certain temperament to be on reality TV. There has to be a temperament of moving on. There has to be a temperament of acceptance. There has to be a temperament of transparency. And here's what I'm saying before anybody gets to in the chat talking about you expect people to do it. I'm not expecting people to do anything. What I'm saying is, if you are not that person, then this isn't the medium for you, and that's okay. It's okay to say, I'm not moving past nothing. When I feel like somebody did me wrong, they did me wrong, and I can't move past that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But then this isn't the medium for you. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna get there when I get there. I'm gonna wrap this up at the end. I know we still have part 3 next week, but I'm gonna wrap this up at the end. But that's just how I feel about there's certain people on here. That's how I feel about it. Y'all know that when I talk reality TV, y'all know that I have a way of doing this where I can look at it from a business point of view. Y'all don't always like my business point of view, but I give y'all my business point of view. When people start talking about Lisa Rinna and Giselle Bryan and Kenya or Marlo and Nene, I can separate who I like from who I don't like and look at it from a business point of view. There are different ways to look at this. So we're going to get back to this in a minute, but let me just go through some things. Okay. We start this episode where we left off with Tisha and Marcel's relationship on the hot seat, with Kiki in there saying that Leticia did reach out to her and express to her that she had concerns about Marcel's being faithful or not. Tisha said, I never did that. That's a lie. See, here's what I'm not going to do, and here's what pisses me off. We're not playing word games. Tisha said, I never said that I was worried about my husband cheating on me. I was upset about the picture I found in his phone. Well, what you upset about the picture on the phone? You said that you found a picture of a woman in your phone, butt naked, or his phone, butt naked. And he responded. He put 2 hearts. And his response was, wow, this is a mid-work day surprise or a midday surprise or something to that effect. You called up at the time your bestie. My cousin is my bestie too. And I know when I call my cousin with the 911 or she called me, like, we already got a code. When I call her and I be like, are you home? And she said, yeah. I said, okay, go and pull the bottle out. I'm on my way. She knows something done went down. She knows something done happened. When she called me and she said, are you home? And I say, yeah. She said, I'm on my way. And I be like, is this a 911 or what? I need to pull out my bottle? And she say, yes. Listen, my cousin drink white liquor, and I drink dark liquor. And she keep a bottle of dark for me, and I keep a bottle of white for her. Because when she call and say she on her way, I'm pulling out the Ciroc, because that's what she drink. If I call her and say I'm on my way, she pull out the Jack, because that's what I drink. Don't play these games with me, Tisha. When you say you at the time, thank you, remain teachable. What's that lip cover? I can't even get it out. What's that lip color? Thank you for the super chat, my love. It is Juvia's Place. It is from their Reds collection. This is called Cherry Love. This is from their Red collection. If you go on their website, Juvia's Place. Are you familiar with Juvia's Place? If you are, then you know what I'm talking about. But it's Juvias Place. It's black owned. It's a black owned makeup company, and they have a collection of. It's called Red. Their Red collection. If you go into their Red collection, this is called Cherry Love. And I don't know if this is on sale or not, but they just hit me up. They sent me another text message out. Something on sale over there. What's up, Ty with B Shalom? What's up, my love? So don't play those word games with me, Tisha. You called your best friend at the time, your ride or die, and you were probably upset talking about what you found in your husband's phone. Don't come back 3 or 4 years later, because she's talking about something that was 14 years ago. I don't believe it was no 14 years ago. And I'm going to tell you why I don't believe it was no 14 years ago, because Marceau's excuse was I had interviewed her for a job, and this just was out of nowhere. This was out of nowhere. And then his next defense was, well, I get people, now that I've been on the show, women send me these kinds of things all the time. And that was one of the first times that had ever happened to me. So I was just upset. I was shocked. First of all, 14 years ago, you weren't in a position to be hiring nobody. And y'all know I like Marceau. Well, 14 years ago, y'all wasn't ballers. Y'all wasn't owning companies and businesses, okay? By y'all own admission, that's not where y'all were 14 years ago. So who were you hiring? Who were you interviewing and hiring, sir? That's number one. Number two, you can't say, well, I was interviewing and hiring and then turn around and say, oh, well, since we've been on the show, people have been sending me these pictures all the time and it's just new to me. So was this picture from 14 years ago or was this picture from 3 or 4 years ago? When did it happen? Then you were in shock, but you weren't in shock enough to put heart emojis on the picture and respond and say, wow, isn't this a midday surprise? You didn't respond the way a married man responds. If you getting stuff in your phone and you don't want it, then your response is block, delete. Please don't send me this. But if you did respond, which I don't even feel like you should have responded, but any response should have been, don't send me this. Don't be disrespectful. Moving on. So, Tisha, you playing word games. And I believe, I don't believe a lot of Kiki said, because Kiki lied too. We're going to get to her in a minute. I caught Kiki in, production caught Kiki in a lie too. So I ain't saying I believe everything that Kiki said, but I believe that. A season or two ago, y'all remember him looking for an assistant, and Tisha had an issue with him looking for a young female assistant. Wasn't that a storyline, or am I tripping? You know what? Maybe that was, and maybe that's who he's talking about. But that's what I'm saying. It can't be all of those things at the same time. It can't be, oh, this has only happened since we've been on the show and people have been throwing themselves at me, or it was 14 years ago and I was hiring somebody. Like, it can't be both things. And you're right, Meg. Maybe it was from that time period, and that would make more sense. That would be more in line with what I feel like Kiki was talking about. But anyway, child, I just don't like to play the word games because a couple of people just straight out lied this episode. But we're going to get there, child. We're going to get there. At the end of the day, though, Marcel, you was wrong for responding. And that's it. That's all. That's how I feel about it. You was wrong for responding. Tisha not going to admit none of that in front of Mel, and I don't blame her. Well, here's the thing. Again, that goes back to what I'm saying about being on a reality show, but whatever. Like I said, we'll get to that, child. Then we catch Kiki in a lie because Kiki said, I think Carlos asked something about, was that the only thing you said about about Leticia at the Christmas party? And she's like, well, I only answered questions I was asked, and I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. And Kimmy was like, well, first of all, Kimmy was like, no, that's not true. You were talking about Tisha when we were outside. She said they didn't show that, but you were talking about her outside. Kiki gonna say, I didn't start a conversation about Tisha outside. Show the footage. I can't say you started this conversation, but I am going to say that production showed the footage of you standing outside talking about Leticia and talking about your relationship with Tisha and why it's so bad and you don't know what's wrong and you want to talk to her and it's been so hard to talk to her. And Kimmy clearly said, I think that's a conversation you need to have with Tisha. I don't think this is the time or the place to have that conversation. So Kimmy was like, no, you absolutely had this conversation. And you were out, and Kimmy said we were outside, and you started that conversation. Now, they didn't show us from the beginning of the conversation, so I cannot say beyond a shadow of a doubt that you started this conversation. But, ma'am, they have footage of you outside talking about Tisha, okay? So, girl, now in that case, I believe Kimmy, because Kimmy was very specific. She said we were outside, and you would talk, and production showed it, so... Right, 14 years ago, we wasn't even doing no heart emojis and stuff. Like, girl, stop. I mean, boy, stop. That's Marcel, boy, stop. I like that name, Remain Teachable More People. I really do like that name, too. I love that name. I told her that, or him that. I don't even know if it's a her or him. I told them that the first time they dropped that. I really like that name. I know that's right. Time with B. Shalom said it is free 99. Exactly. They sure did. Production absolutely rolled that beautiful beam footage. They sure did. Listen, let me tell y'all who is undefeated. Production is undefeated. Y'all gonna stop lying on production. And you know what? I feel like production didn't used to do that as much. But I guess production said, we tired of y'all blaming us. We tired of y'all saying something happened that didn't happen, or something happened, something that didn't happen did happen. We're not playing with y'all no more. Y'all gonna stop blaming us. I guess they said, production said, y'all gonna stop making everything about production. Because isn't that the first thing reality show people do? The first thing they do is say, well, it's production. Production did, production didn't. It's production. And that's the first thing they do. It's production. Mm-hmm. Leticia said she did know that Kiki was coming on the show, so that wasn't hey Virgin Love, happy Sunday. Chef Don show, Kiki said Stormy started the conversation about Tisha when they were outside. Well, and that's why I said I didn't see where it started. I didn't see where it started, but they definitely showed Kiki talking about Tisha. And again, because they didn't, and I did notice that during the episode, because they didn't show it from the beginning, I was a little suspect that maybe what happened to start that, because you didn't see the beginning of the conversation. So I'm going to give Kiki a 50-50 on that. But again, we're playing word games. And what I mean by that is this. When you knew what Carlos was asking you, did you speak about Tisha outside of the incident that they showed in the kitchen? That's what you knew what they was trying to find out. You a woman? Okay, thank you, Remain Teachable. Because listen, I don't want to be misgendering nobody, but I feel like I always assume everybody's a woman, and that's not always true. And so I have to stop assuming that all of my subscribers are women. If I, you know what I'm saying? They ain't all women. So Tisha said she knew Kiki was coming on the show. She just didn't know that Kiki was coming on the show to talk about her. Why? Why? Why did you not accept the fact that Kiki was coming on the show to talk about? What other reason would Kiki be coming on the show and not filming with you? Girl, stop. Like, again, stop playing with me. Y'all gonna stop playing in my face. What other... I'm going to use my cousin again, my bestie, my road dog. If me and her, for whatever reason, fell out, or we're not as close as we used to be, and all of a sudden I see that my enemy, somebody that hates me, somebody that I know don't F with me, all of a sudden start inviting her places. Forget about a reality show. All of a sudden starts inviting her places. All of a sudden I hear about them down to the cigar bar, down to the club. They done went to the wine bar together. Hell, they done did a girls trip together. Why in the world would I not think that at some point, not saying all day, every day, 24/7, but why would I not think that at some point the conversation's about me? Girl, stop. Stop playing in my face, Tisha. You knew why Kiki was coming on the show. That's why you was ready. That's why you was ready. Tisha is a sore word, and she bringing down the entire... Well, listen, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but there's some not so great D9 representation on some of these reality shows. Not all of them, but some of them. Because I think Kimmy is a great representation of her organization. Marcel, sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't, child. I know all the Kappas be side-eyeing Martel ass. Jonathan, you still in the chat? I know all of the Kappas be side-eyeing Martel. Like this motherfucker right. Yeah. I know all y'all do. And if you don't, you should. Moving right along. Yeah, she's an AKA. Now, Marcel and Tisha said that they did not joke about Kiki's drug addiction. However, they did tell Martel and Melody, and they're not apologizing or backing down from that. They felt like they had every right to say that. They felt like they had every right to let Martel and Mel know that Kiki was in there and yada yada yada. I don't disagree with them on that. Let me tell y'all something, and I think I told y'all this when it happened during the season. If I knew Oh, you said nope, not all of us, because the majority of y'all are just like, child. Let me tell y'all this. If I knew that a friend of mine, because at the time they were friends, Mel and Martel were they were friends, was inviting somebody into their home that could potentially do something in their home while they were there, I would let them know. Kiki had a drug addiction. Even if in that moment, because what Marcel was saying was that she had a relapse. So if I feel like you are getting ready to invite somebody into your home that has a drug addiction and could possibly steal from you, take something out your medicine cabinet, because remember she had a pill addiction, go through your medicine cabinet. Listen, I don't think they were wrong. Period. I don't think they were wrong. Now, did they make a joke about it? Maybe. Did they clown about it? Maybe. Does Kiki have every right to be upset if she found out that they were making light? Her friends, the people, her cousin / sister, girlfriend, bestie was joking about the drug addiction, or allowing her husband or allowing people around her to joke about it. I would be hurt too, and she has every right to be hurt. So Maurice lied a lot about that. Oh yeah, he lied last year about the Atlanta trip, child. Right. Like, I just feel like, especially when we talk about somebody that's addicted to pills, child, they will. Hey, what's up, Tara? They will go through your medicine cabinet. They will do all of that, child. Let's not play. Again, we're not going to play these games. Now, again, Kiki has the right to be hurt by it. She has a right to be upset by it, but I don't think they were wrong for doing it. That's just my opinion. Because flip it around. Kiki walk up in that house, go through their medicine cabinets, and steal all their damn meds. First thing gonna come out of Melody's mouth is, well, why y'all ain't tell me? Why y'all ain't let me know who I was inviting into my home? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, I gotta write something down before I forget. I'll put this in my notes before I forget. Okay. That's the part that's gonna make y'all mad. Kimmy just as naive as Tisha? Maybe. I don't think Kimmy's just as naive as Tisha. I really don't. I think how do I want to say this? I do not believe that Kimmy would ignore blatant things like some of what I feel like Tisha has ignored. I absolutely, in my heart of hearts, believe that Melody and Martel are privy to bad behavior by Marceau. Absolutely, I believe that. Now, to what extent of the bad behavior, how deep the bad behavior went, how long it went on, and how far it went, that I don't know. That I don't know. But I absolutely believe that they are privy to bad behavior by Martel. The thing about Maurice and Kimmy, and this is my opinion, and I know I like Kimmy, so maybe I'm biased, and I'm being honest about that. Maybe I'm biased, but this is how I feel about the Maurice Kimmy situation. Because their relationship was so I really think that they had a long-term situationship, and a lot of things happened during the situationship before they became an official couple, monogamous. I'm not seeing nobody else. You're not seeing nobody else. And I think some of Maurice's, do I think there's bad behavior by Maurice? Absolutely. But I think Maurice, a lot of his bad behavior is covered by that we were in a situationship pattern. We were not boyfriend, girlfriend, official. That's my opinion. And I think that's why their story wavers. It's because I do not think Kimmy was a side chick. I do not believe that. But I do think that that's why their timeline wavers. And I do think that's why it's hard to pinpoint certain things with their relationship. Because I do not think they were in a committed boyfriend-girlfriend relationship for a long time. I think they were dating. I think they was probably getting it in. I think they were spending time with each other, going on vacations, hanging out. Like, I believe they were doing all of that. But I do not think that they had labeled themselves boyfriend, girlfriend. And I think a lot of I think some of this bad behavior that Maurice is guilty of, I think fell in that window. That's my opinion. And I'm not trying to make, again, I know that I'm biased. I'm being honest. I like Kimmy, and I know I'm biased, but I also pay attention. Sometimes, see, you gotta pay attention to what people don't say. You said the Atlanta trip was after they bought the house, but okay. Well, when did they buy? How you know, Melly, when they bought the house in the Atlanta trip? How you know? You was on somebody's blog that posted their mortgage. Because I don't believe that Kimmy would willfully be in a relationship where she's being disrespected. That's just my opinion. But again, you never know. You never know. I know they both said that he was a ho after his divorce and she wasn't pressuring him into a relationship. Right. See, those are the kinds of things, little baby, that I hear and I read into that. So Maurice has been very clear that he was hoeing around after his divorce. Very clear that he was hoeing around after his divorce. Mel said it on the show with her convo with Kimmy. I don't remember that. I must have missed it. I don't remember that. I don't remember that. But I could be wrong because look, I just don't think that. But I do think that Kimmy seemed like the type of person that would be cool with being in a situationship. I just feel like she was in a situationship with Maurice for a long time. Because that's just what I believe. But anyway. Yeah, Maurice is a hoe. And he said he was a hoe. And I also think that's why I took him, they were dating for a long time. If they just got married when this show started and her son was in college and they first started messing around when her son was a kid and was getting haircuts before Maurice started doing real estate, before Maurice went to law school and all of that. Maurice was a full-time barber. I mean, they've been messing around for a minute, and I do not think that they were monogamous in that time period. And I also believe this too, I also feel like this too, that if Maurice did get caught cheating and Kimmy decided to forgive him, I feel like Kimmy is the kind of person that does not throw stuff in people's face. Like, if I decide I forgave you, and I moved on. I'm not going to keep bringing that shit up. I'm not going to keep going back to it and saying, well, remember when you cheated on me? Or remember that girl? Or remember with that chick? Remember when you did? I don't feel like she's that person. I feel like if she decided she's going to forgive somebody, and again, I don't know this woman from a hole in the wall. That's just what I feel from her. That's just what I feel for her. Even when they talked about that house, hold on, let me read y'all's comments and then I'm gonna move on to the next thing. And she gave an ultimatum to put a ring on it or she was out. Tisha has shown that she won't leave Marcel even with everything that has been brought to her attention. And she ain't going nowhere. Even the way they talked about that house they bought and the plans, intentions for it, plain disrespectful to her. And I don't see her standing up for herself fully the way she doesn't against the women. Hold on, I'm missing the first part of what you said, Meg. Hold on, let me scroll up. Hold on. I don't see the. She shall ignore and was trying to dodge Maurice and that lie from the last reunion. Okay. I think Tisha just refused to acknowledge Marcel's behavior because for now she wants to marry to refuse to let other women win her man. Many women do this. Yeah. Kimmy was saying, oh, that was before we were exclusive. And Mel said, yeah, but y'all already bought the house. Well, if they weren't exclusive, they weren't exclusive. Look, women do that all the time. And again, if she said, it came out her mouth. She said what I just said. She confirmed what I just said. So maybe I heard her say it and it's stuck in the back of my mind. Did you explain how 12 years ago Marcel was? Child, we already talked about that, Tracy. We know that's a lie. Was it me or was this reunion was a lot to unpack? It's a lot to unpack because these are real friends that are going through real issues and it's not reality show bullshit. That's really, honestly, that's what this boils down to. These are real friends or former friends. And this is not reality show. I mean, some of it's bullshit, but this is not reality show bullshit. These people really knew each other, really knew each other's business, really knew where the bodies are buried, really knew each other's secrets, and they have fallen out publicly. And I think a lot of them, not all of them, but I think a lot of them, for as mean and as nasty as we think some of these people are to each other, I think a lot of them are walking that tightrope between how much do I really put on TV versus how do I defend myself without putting too much on TV. That's my truth. And I truly believe that. I believe that if Mel and Martel really wanted to drop the hammer on Marceau, I believe they could. I honestly believe they could. Just like they could have dropped the hammer on Martel and Mel season 1 and really put all the business out. Of course, that's what Mel accused them of doing. Mel accused them of sending information to the blogs, but I don't think they did. I think that Huntsville is a small city and people knew what it was. And I think people around them were sending information. But the fact that Ariane's name did not come up for as long as it did, and everybody on that show knew what it was, I think that if they really want to drop the hammer on Maurice's past indiscretions, I believe they could. I believe Destiny, when we saw the preview where Destiny said she know Mel's business, I believe she does. I just believe that. I believe that this is a real group of friends who are dealing with real shit. And I think that's why there's so much to unpack. I agree with you, King Corey. I think the whole cheating thing is academic because we have no concrete evidence of Maurice after the show premiere. Everything seemed to be before. That's how I feel too. I feel like all of this is before, but I could be, was it cheating if it was while they were just sleeping together? That's what I'm saying. I don't think they were in a committed relationship. Maurice don't even come home at night. That's disrespectful. No, Melly, they didn't say Maurice doesn't come home at night. They say sometimes he stays out till 4 a.m. That's two totally different things. Now, again, it's all about what you accept in your relationship, but that's just different. You know how gangster it is to ignore a man and his BS and still stand and people calling you stupid. Child. All 3 of them men, frat brothers. No, they're not. No, they're not. Maurice isn't in a frat. Maurice is in D9. I know they're all in one, but I'm not sure if they play together. No. Marceau is an Omega. Martel is a Kappa, and Maurice is not affiliated. Maurice is not Greek. He's not D9. At least as of now. At least as of when the show started now. Maybe he did something grad chapter in the last couple of years, but if he did, he's not advertising it. Broken People of Huntsville. They need to decide after this season to either drop the hammers or put them down. Stop taunting. Martel is still holding back. He is. Which is why I'm like, stop teasing with the shit. Either say names or keep it in the playground. Why is Mel and Kimmy's business so much? When was Mel and Kimmy's business? Now, no wonder Maurice is not her biggest fan. When they bought the house, isn't Mel's business because we can find a flaw or two from Mel. Child. Martel said it's stuff he knows about the men and still won't say. Yeah, I agree he does. A lot of this stuff is before the show. They rehash it because they're friends. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point, little baby, because these are people with friends and with history. I feel like the evidence is being downplayed. Anyone with common sense can put 2 and 2 together and draw a conclusion that Marceau is allegedly stepping out on Tisha. I agree. If Destiny knows Mel's information and Mel knows hers, Destiny needs to tread lightly. I don't disagree. Of course, Destiny knows Mel's secrets. That was her minion for 3 years. Yeah. And I do believe that Mel plays things close to the vest, but I also think that Mel and Destiny was thick for a minute. They really were. They were thick for a minute. I don't think Destiny knows anything of importance. I do. Now, do I think she knows anything that's going to be like, change? Like, she don't know nothing that's going to put nobody in jail or nothing, but I believe she does. I believe this thing because this is and Melly. I know I know that it sounds like you a mellow meter, and that's fine. Y'all are welcome. But I keep telling y'all, I've told y'all before, and I will continue to say that there's stuff that I know because a friend of mine dated one of Martel's friends, and there's stuff that I know. You know, Mel is not as sweet and innocent as people want her to be. You know, and again, it doesn't. I'm not defending or excusing what what Martel did, but let's understand, Mel. It's not sweet and innocent. But anyway, moving on, child. Let's move on, because I got other stuff to do. Okay. So then we get into Miss Wanda is out there. And let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna go through my notes, but I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel about this whole Miss Wanda thing. They talk about the Miss Wanda in the fight. Yeah. A lot of people do. They do. They trauma bond with Melody. They absolutely do. So this is what I'm gonna say about the situation with Miss Wanda. Understanding that Leticia is a grown ass woman, but she's still somebody's child. Melody, Miss Wanda has come and made comments that are out of pocket, unnecessary, and wrong. Period. Full stop. Miss Wanda is out of control, and they allow her to do it because it's good for the show. It brings in ratings, and people love to see Miss Wanda go off the rails. So they allow it to happen. That's it. Now, with that being said, in this situation, I'm just talking about the situation that led up to the fight. I'm not talking about all the other shit that Miss Wanda has done. Mel made a comment about her baby daddy. So Miss Wanda made a comment about Mel's baby daddy. Now, was Miss Wanda wrong because she was talking about children? Yes. Full stop. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Period. So stop making excuses and saying, but maybe, well, what, no. It's not she was wrong, but. No, she was wrong. She was wrong. But, and I'm going to say a but here, but, Martel, you sat on there and told a bold-faced damn lie. Because Carlos asked you, and I really wish they had ran back this footage. Carlos asked you, have you ever questioned the paternity of your child? And you said no. And that's a lie. Now, whether you ever meant it or not, whether you ever truly believe that you weren't that baby's father, that's another conversation. But don't sit here and say you never went on social media and question whether that child was yours. Don't sit here and say you never went on social media and question about Melody getting pregnant and how y'all hardly was ever even spending time together. You know, marital time together. Don't sit here and do that. You question the paternity of Sugar Mama, and you also question the paternity of the baby she didn't keep. Because you even said, well, why would you get rid of a child if you knew that if you were a married woman, why would you get rid of a child that was by your husband? You absolutely did it. You did it you did do it on Dr. Heavenly's platform, and you did it on social media. I really wish I had the tweets. I don't be screenshotting, keeping the archives and shit, but you did. And I really wish that Carlos had pulled it, found it, got somebody to pull it up. You absolutely did. So again, like Kimmy said, the rumors are out there. People have been talking about it. You mentioned it, you brought it up, and Miss Wanda picked it up and ran with it. Now again, she was wrong. But don't act like she pulled that shit out her ass, because she didn't. She absolutely pulled it from you. Melly, he talked about both. I've heard him question both. Martel lied so much he can't remember the lies he told. Fact. But his tweets, he tweeted about it because he talked about the fact that Melody was sleeping with his frat brother. Because remember, she got pregnant back to back. Really, he didn't question the 4 kids on Dr. Heavenly Live. He made that clear. Now, social media, he was going in. All right, so then I'll take Dr. Heavenly out of it. But on social media, he did. Because he was talking about the fact that she was sleeping with his frat brother. And she got pregnant. Remember, she got pregnant back to back. Yeah, he questioned both. He absolutely did. He absolutely did. Now, maybe not on Dr. Heavenly. Y'all can throw Dr. Heavenly out, but I know he did. Walnut Head sitting up there talking about, I didn't remember saying that. Child, right. Thank you, little baby. That's what I'm talking about. He did. He absolutely said that was one of his frat brothers. The one that was the lawyer. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if that's the same baby, if that's the same timeline, then I'm wrong. But I heard him question it, and I've heard him question both. But my point is the same. You put it out there, Martel. You put it out there. I mean, I don't think we should harp on that. This can be so detrimental. Raven, I love Raven. I don't mean no harm, but my live ain't gonna be detrimental to their children. The shit they doing is gonna be detrimental to their children. So when I say it's so much to unpack, that's what I mean. It's too much. It is. It is so much. So I say all that to say Miss Wanda is wrong. Miss Wanda been wrong. She's out of pocket. And the problem I have, I agree 100% with Carlos. I agree that we don't need to be splitting hairs. And I'm one of those people. I'm absolutely one of those people too that even if you didn't mean any harm in what you did, if I'm telling you it bothered me and this is how I took it, then respect that. When Mel said this is how I received it, then that just should have been it. Exactly, Harold. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not giving Miss Wanda a pass about anything because I think Miss Wanda is wrong a lot. And I think Miss Wanda is out of pocket. And I think that Miss Wanda enjoys the attention. It's just like a kid that gets attention. So a kid gets attention for dancing, right? Oh, well, when I start dancing, I get attention. The adults like it. So every time somebody comes over, I'm going to start dancing. And now I'm going to dance a little bit harder. And now I'm going to add something else to my dance. Now I'm going to lip sync to the dance. Now I'm going to bring my cousins in and we're going to put together a whole routine because I like the attention that I'm getting from the dancing. And so I'm going to continue to dance. I'm going to continue to perform and I'm going to keep upping it up. I'm going to keep raising the bar because I like the attention that I'm getting. In my opinion, that is what we're dealing with Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda likes the attention, and the more attention she gets, the more she does. And nobody is checking her. And Leticia got that same issue that Candy have. They act like they can't check their mamas because it's disrespectful. No, it's not. And maybe it's a Southern thing. But there's a way that you can talk to your mother. There's a way you can deal with it. There's a way you can address it without it being disrespectful. That's my opinion. But she was wrong. And she was damn sure wrong for sitting there trying to fight this woman. This Melody could be your child. Melody could be your child. And you out here trying to fight this woman. I just feel like I just feel like that was just bad. That was just a bad look. And I agree with Carlos when he was talking about kids should just be off limits. Period. You know, Wanda is wrong. And Martel brought up a good point where he said, listen, you know, this is not the first time she talked about our kids. She talked about their hair. Remember that. We remember that happened. Right. Then when Miss Wanda doubled down and said, I got the picture. Right. It's just too much. Checking her ain't going to change things. Then they need to stop letting her film because that's where this is coming from. Her need to always be out there is because she likes the attention. Then she need to just stop filming. And if that means that the ratings go down and, oh, well, the ratings just go down, so be it. Shit, it might be time for the show to be over anyway. Because when I get to the end, that's how y'all ain't going to be liking me. Y'all ain't going to be mad at me about it. But at the end of the day, what's up, Diva Law? But at the end of the day, that's just how I feel about it. That's just how I feel about it. You know, then she needs to stop filming, period. Only time she can film is if it's a group situation and we having a cookout or a party down to black or something like that. But she shouldn't get no more one-on-one scenes. She should get no more highlights. She shouldn't have no storyline. She got a whole storyline on this show. Her trying to start this food truck business. She got a whole storyline. No, ma'am. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel about it. You know, I'm just as entertained by Wanda as the next person, but I also feel like it's gone too far. It's just gone too far. Spinoff. What's the spinoff, Phil? Tell me what the spinoff is. I've been saying that they need to cancel the show. They aren't talking about anything new. They're all stuck. No storylines are progressing. They're going, it's toxic. Cancel it. It's not funny, amusing, or entertaining. I think most are over it. She should be able to film with Tisha. Nope. That's my opinion, baby. J12, aka, that's my opinion. Nope. Because she's abused the privilege. That's my opinion. She's abused the privilege. And Tisha's not going to check her. But anyway. So, Carlos checked Martel when he was like, you didn't email me about that. You emailed me about everything else that you got a problem with. And I felt like that was Carlos' way of checking Martel, and I was here for it. Martel ain't had nothing to say. He was looking stuck like Chuck. He was like, well, I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So then they bring out Stormy and Destiny. I felt bad for Stormy because I was here for Stormy when she was like, look, I got it from the mud. You know, like they said that I bring the show down and I'm ghetto and I'm this and I'm that. She was like, and all I think about is when I started my business and people told me that I wasn't going to do shit and I couldn't make it happen. She said, nobody was there for me. Nobody had my back. And, you know, for people to judge me off of one scene and not know, you know, I felt for Destiny in that moment. Now, I also, if I'm being honest, Destiny, I like Stormy. I mean, I said Destiny. I ain't talking about Destiny. I'm talking about Stormy. I really do like Stormy. I think at first I was kind of side-eyeing Stormy. I was at first. But I do like Stormy. But I do feel like Stormy came on the show to be Mel's little side chick and was Mel's mouthpiece and was capping for Mel. But I do feel like but I feel like she sort of came into her own and started getting to know people on her own and not necessarily going by what Mel said. And then she started building friendships, you know. So, but yeah, I think the fans were really, and I mean, you know, all shows do it, but I felt bad. I did feel bad for Stormy in that moment. Because like Carlos said, a Southern accent doesn't make you ignorant. And I think we make that connection. Just like when people don't speak English, we automatically, when I say we, I know I'm just a general statement. When people don't speak English, we automatically think they're stupid. No, they're very intelligent. They just don't speak English. They may not, you know what I mean? Like, you can't assume somebody's ignorant. I mean, is intelligent just because they don't speak the language you speak. They probably feel the same way about you. Oh, you don't speak the language I speak, so you must not be that smart. Fans never seal for non-original cast members in general, no matter who it is. People don't like Stormy because of an alleged beef with Mel. Yeah, they're coming for her now because they feel like her and Mel done fell out. I just think that, my opinion, I don't know this to be a fact. My opinion is, I just think that she is no longer accepting everything Mel tells her at face value. I think she has built a relationship, a friendship with these women and men, and she's developing her own bonds with them. And I don't think Melody likes that. Now that was funny how Mel was correcting Tisha. Now it was very passive aggressive, but it was funny as hell. Now that was funny. I ain't gonna lie, that was funny. Exactly, Raven. Exactly. People who are bilingual, right? Every season, Melody tries to bring on, I think you want to say a friend or somebody. Okay. Then we get to Destiny. Did y'all get the feeling that Carlos was a little irritated with Destiny? Do y'all get the feeling that Carlos is a little irritated with Miss Destiny? I do. I do. He said he gave her a pass for the whole marriage thing because legally they agreed that they wouldn't discuss certain things on the show. Okay. He said, but I see you sitting with a pillow beside you instead of a man, a person. And the way he made that comment made me feel like Destiny was supposed to bring her man on the show, and she didn't. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Is that I feel like Destiny was supposed to bring her man on the show. What's up, Monk Chip? Mwah. And she didn't. Now, Destiny and Kimmy sort of got into it towards the end because Carlos was saying how production has complained about Destiny. Because production said that that Destiny is hard to film with, that she doesn't give a lot, that she doesn't say a lot, and that it's hard to get things out of her. And Kimmy chimed in and said, yeah, like I have told her that on screen and off screen, but the reality is she's not lying and she's not wrong. And we've seen it. We have seen other cast members struggle to get anything out of Destiny. Even Mel, who was her whole ride or die, could not get Destiny to talk on things when they were filming. It was hard. It was very, I can't get you to talk to me, right? I don't think Kimmy was out of line. See, I don't think Kimmy was out of line because again, I feel like all Kimmy was saying was that that's been her experience. And Destiny, see, my problem with Destiny is very defensive, and Destiny is instant attitude. Instant attitude. And let me tell you something. I know Destiny because I was Destiny once upon a time. Destiny's attitude is who I was once upon a time. And you saw when Destiny was like, see, this is why I don't say nothing, because I get ganged up on, and then that make me not want to say nothing. So then I just don't say anything at all. So going back to what I said at the beginning of this review, some people don't have the temperament to be on reality TV. It doesn't mean that they're wrong or right. It means that their personality is not conducive to this medium. And she's what I'm talking about, one of the people I'm talking about. And that's a perfect example. When you say to me, you ask me a question, and I sometimes don't feel like answering the question, so I shut down. That is not a luxury you have when we filming a damn show. Girl, you don't get to just shut down and not say a damn thing, because now we're sitting here trying to film a scene and I can't get you to say boo. It is hard and it is uncomfortable for all three, include for everybody that's in that moment. And I don't think Kimmy was wrong for saying it. I don't know why y'all felt like Kimmy was wrong. Phil, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't feel like Kimmy came out of nowhere with that. First of all, I feel like that's one of those moments where we're going to find out there was editing there, that conversation went further, and that's how Kimmy got in it. I don't feel like Kimmy just randomly threw it out there. But even if she did, it's a reunion. Everybody can talk. All of them do it. And she wasn't wrong. And we can use a perfect example. Destiny did it right there on the show. She did it on the show. And the only reason why she answered that question about being in love is because Carlos had just said to her, see, this is what I'm talking about. And she even said, see, now I don't even want to answer the question. And if they had been filming, she wouldn't have, because she wasn't going to. She wasn't going to answer the question. But again, you can't say, oh, well, y'all made me mad, so I'm going to shut down and not say nothing. And again, I understand that mentality, because that's who I used to be. I used to be that person. Sometimes I still am, but I used to be that person. If I decided I ain't had shit to say to you, I ain't had shit to say to you. And you could ask me 5,000 questions and you wasn't going to get nothing but yes, no, maybe. I don't give a damn what you asked me. I don't care what you asked me, and I don't really care who was asking. I would do it to my mama. Now, my mama would threaten to pop me, and that'd be another conversation. But if I decided I'm done, I'm done. But then that means that that temperament is not good for filming a reality TV show, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Destiny has a right to feel the way she feels. She has a right to not talk about anything she don't want to talk about. But like Kimmy said, we're on a reality show. That's what we're doing here. That is what we're doing here. And if you are not ready to do that, or you don't want to do that, then this is not the medium for you, period. That's like any other job. If you take a job doing data processing, what up, Nay? If you take a job doing data processing, you don't get to tell people you don't want to be on a computer all day. That is what it is, ma'am. That is what this job entails. You applied for a job that the title was data processing. You know you got to input data. You can't input data without getting on some sort of apparatus to input the data. That is it. That's all I'm saying. That doesn't make Destiny a bad person or a wrong person or a mean person. That just means that where Destiny is in her life. Now, when she started on this show, when she thought that her and her husband was going to put on this image of this great couple and film this show, maybe she was in a different space and she was willing to be open and she was willing to share. But maybe after being in this environment with people in her business and people making judgments and people starting rumors and people telling the truth and people digging into her life, maybe she no longer wants to do it. Then quit. As someone who likes to keep stuff close to the press, I'm Destiny. That's why, to the chest, I'm Destiny. That's why I would never do reality TV. Too many people in my business. Yeah. Destiny should have never gone on the show if she didn't want to reveal her life. Destiny came on the show with a certain storyline. The storyline disintegrated and she doesn't know how to pivot. Kimmy is really the only one with any common sense, in my opinion. Child love me some Kimmy. But, and don't get me wrong, I don't mean Kimmy perfect, because I think, Kimmy's not. But she's my favorite on the show. I think when Destiny first went on the show, she went on the show, I agree, with an intention, and she had a certain storyline in place. That storyline fell apart, but then she needed the show because she needed the money. So she stayed on the show, even though the plans that she had disintegrated. What's up, Lemon Kush? Right. If you don't like anatomy and physiology, or sick people forget nursing or medical school. Right. I mean, that's just it. Like, and I think that's, if y'all go back, if y'all, for those people that say, y'all go back in your mind and y'all remember that scene in the store, the day of the fight. Once Destiny got pissed off, once she got mad when she saw Mel pull up or Stormy pull up, once Stormy pulled up, I don't think Destiny said 5 more words. And Kimmy and Tisha were trying to film a scene. Go back and look at that again. And you see Kimmy and Tisha trying to film a scene with her. And she won't talk. They're like, well, I mean, Destiny, are you okay? I'm good. And Kimmy was like, I don't think you are good. And I mean, what's going on? Nothing. Tisha tried to talk to her. Kimmy tried to talk to her. She wouldn't say a word. You literally got Stormy out there. Kimmy, listen, it's no accident that Stormy and Mel showed up. Y'all know that was production. Y'all know they showed up because they had to. The purpose of them showing up was to film. The purpose of them showing up was for the confrontation between Destiny and Mel and Destiny and Stormy. The whole purpose of that whole situation. They didn't know the fight was going to happen. That was a bonus. They were there to film with Destiny. And Destiny would not give them 5 minutes, well, 5 words. And then she went in the back. Remember when she went in the back and wouldn't come out? You can't film a reality show like that. I'm sorry. She was acting like a child. Nobody wants to deal with that on a consistent basis. She needed to show this stuff. Yeah, she needed the show. Even Tisha told her to relax before the fight. Right. I mean, they were trying to get her to have a conversation. She won't talk. So I feel like that's what Carlos was trying to tell her. And I feel like that's what Kimmy was trying to tell her. Please know, and like Kimmy said, I've had this conversation with her on and off camera. Meaning, girl, they tried to talk to you off camera and say, you got to give us more. And they probably came at her real sister girl like and was like, they're going to get rid of you off this show if you don't give us something. If you don't start giving us something, you're going to lose this job and you need it. We need you to do more. Right. And Carlos is letting her know production said they don't even like filming with you. Now, that was really one of the last things that we saw. Now, something that Marceau said, and this is where, so the mellow meters, y'all gonna get mad at me if there's any mellow meters in the chat. Going to get ready to cuss me out now. When Marceau said Mel never takes responsibility for anything she does, man, I felt that thing. Oh, I felt that thing. Let me say this. My conclusion to this part 2 of this reunion, I still think part 1 was better, but I don't know. I thought part 1 was better than this because I felt like everything that was said in this episode was redundant and we done beat it to death. As far as the Miss Wanda and the fight and who was wrong and who was right, I'm tired of talking. I feel like the whole second half of the season was this. The whole second half of the season was them talking about this fight and whether Miss Wanda was right or wrong and what they're gonna do about Miss Wanda. So that whole segment they could have deleted, honestly. And to be honest with you, I'm sick of talking about. I feel like we talked this whole Kiki, Tisha situation to death too. The only new real interesting information was the second part where they brought out Destiny. Honestly, I honestly feel like part 2. I feel like part 1 was better than part 2, y'all. And you know, maybe y'all don't agree, but you know, the one thing that Marcel said that made sense. She must don't need it because she refuses to show up. I don't think, but that's what I'm saying, Melly. I don't think she know how to be any different, which is fine. You got to be who you are. I believe her. I just don't think she knows how to be any different. I don't think she knows how to be any different. And again, so when I talk about where we are now with Love and Marriage Huntsville, my opinion is either we're going to shut this show down and rebrand altogether. Because at this point, I really feel like they could shut the show down. They can rebrand it as Scott and Friends. Scott and Friends. Mel need to go. Destiny needs to go. The Whitlows need to go. I think Stormy and her husband can stay. I like what they bring to the show. I feel like they could give us more. I feel like they can bring us more if they had more scenes to film. I feel like they could bring us more. I feel like we could change this to Scott and Friends, and I feel like the focus could be Kimmy and Marceau, Kimmy and Maurice, Leticia and Marceau, and Stormy could be a friend of, right? Maybe Destiny, since they're real cool in real life with Destiny. Maybe Destiny. Give Mel her own show. Because here's my problem with Melody at this point. And I said this at the beginning of the episode. If you are not, the thing about reality shows, you got to be willing to do a couple of things. One of the things you got to be willing to do is move on. The one thing that irritates me about these reality shows is how 1 minute they could be fighting each other and hating on each other, and then the next minute they go on vacation and they having a good time and they dancing on the beach. The next minute they're at a luncheon throwing food at each other, and 2 hours later, they having cocktails and playing newlywed games, right? Because that is the nature of filming a reality TV show. You have to learn how to let stuff go and put it to the side. Mel can't do that. And I'm not going to sit here and argue about whether she should or she shouldn't and whether she should get over it. I ain't arguing that because I'm not telling Mel she got to get over nothing. But what I am saying is that you don't need to be on this show anymore with people you are no longer interested in moving forward with. Because how the hell, what you going to film? What are you going to film with these people? I'm not saying Mel is right or wrong. I'm not saying the Scotts are right or wrong. I'm not passing judgment on who did what to who. But at a certain point, we're at an impasse at this point. If Mel is not interested in interacting with these people and having and again playing the reality TV game, because that's all it's about. It's the reality TV game. If she's not ready to do that, then give her her own show. Drop the Love and Marriage Huntsville title because again, Mel is the EP, Martel's the EP. That's a whole different situation. Drop it. rebrand it as Scott and Friends or something else. Give Mel her own show. I don't know what that's going to look like, but give her own vehicle, right? Maybe Mel wants to do, I could see Mel doing a talk show. She may not want to do reality TV show anymore where she wants to just sit there and film her life. She may not want to do that. You keep hearing the beep. That's my smoke detector. And we've had that. Listen, I'm still struggling. I tried to get in there again today. I went past the firehouse, and I don't know if they must have been out on a call, but the person who answered said that I would have to leave my information and they will make an appointment for somebody to come over my house. But I can't figure out how to change that damn thing. So I'm sorry. Short of me yanking it out the wall. But Melody just she may no longer be interested in doing reality. And that's fine. That's fine. But find another vehicle for her because Mel got a lot going on. You know, I respect Mel. I may not agree with everything Mel does or says, but I respect Mel. I absolutely respect Mel. But at the end of the day, this is not it anymore. This just isn't it. It's just not. It's not. And that's just my opinion. That's just it. I'm not buying her music because Mel can't sing. And I know people going to hate me when I say that, but she can't. Mel can't sing. Child. Mel said a hot mess. Mel might have a whole new set of friends outside of people on the show, but she may not want to film with them. You see what I'm saying? Like she may not want to film with them. And again, they can just recast the whole show. If they recast the whole show, then that's what I'm saying. Don't call it Love and Marriage Huntsville anymore because again, as long as it's Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's going to be connected to Mel and Martel because they're EPs. It's going to always be connected to them. But I think that they should separate it out. I think that somebody said earlier, I think Phil said earlier about spinoffs. I think that the Scotts should get their own spinoff with Black being the backdrop. Maybe it could be, you know, it can continue to be about them trying to build this damn house, them doing what they're doing. We got, you know, we have Kimmy and Maurice again, because that's pretty much what it's been. What it is now. We don't hardly see Mel. Mel very seldom. I mean, this second half she filmed, they had the whole, you know, vacation stuff. But if you take the vacation out of this season, we ain't see that much of Mel. We would see a scene here or there. Carlos ain't gonna cancel the show. He making too much money off this show. He ain't canceling it. These people are friends of Martel. So that's how I feel about it. At this point, I feel like Mel needs to go. I feel like Destiny needs to go. And definitely the Whitlows. I mean, hell, we ain't even seen them on the reunion. And I know they were filming. So I guess we're going to see them on the next episode on part 3. But child, who cares about anything they saying? Like Tiffany started off this season with the storyline of her trying to find her biological parents. But that fizzled. Like we ain't heard no more about that. In my opinion, her scenes are overproduced to get ahead of whatever social media drama is going on, but not an actual storyline. I honestly think Hotel can have his own show for the single man. Oh, child. I could not do a whole show of Martel. That, oh, God, no. Ooh. No, ma'am. That is Carlos' show. Mel and Martel having a vanity EP title means nothing. Look at Mariah Married to Medicine. Yeah, but Mariah's name is still on there as an EP. She's still an EP. And also, too, remember, it was the contract that Mariah signed. I don't know what's in Melody and Martel's contract. Remember, Mariah's contract allowed Bravo to do what they did because of the type of contract she signed. Maybe Mel and Martel didn't sign that kind of contract. I don't know. But I just feel like as long as it's Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's going to be connected to Love and Marriage Huntsville. But that's my opinion, y'all. That's my opinion. What makes this different from Housewives is there is an understanding that Housewives come and go, but the audience is vested in the original 6. Also, I think what's different with the Housewives, and I said this earlier, these people were friends in real life. So we're dealing with real. This is not bullshit. And that's probably, and let me go back to Mel. And that's probably part of the reason why Mel can't just let it go and move on. Because these were people that were really a part of her life. These were people who were really her friends. This was her husband who she was with and loved and had 4 babies by and really tried to make it work. Like, these were really, really people that were a major part of her life for a long period of time. So I'm not, and that's why I said I'm not saying Mel is wrong for not moving on. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that if she can't, then this is no longer the vehicle. But I agree, when you, again, and that's the difference when you have a reality show where you bring people together who are acquaintances versus they were really, really, really your friends. Like, we look at Potomac, Giselle and Karen really knew each other. They were really friends in real life. That's why, and if y'all paid, I said this before, last year when Karen went low and she was really about to tell Giselle's business and she caught herself and she reeled it back in when she was talking about Sing Sing, Karen knew exactly what the hell she was talking about. And Karen knew exactly she was about to go too far. She had to reel that thing back in. If you notice, Giselle and Karen have been pretty decent ever since that. Ever since they got past that moment, they've been real cool with each other, and they're very careful. They throw fun shade, but they haven't gone too far below the belt. Because I think in that moment, Karen really realized, I'm about to go too far. Like, I'm really about to tell some business, because I do care about Giselle. They were friends in real life before the show. Whereas none of them knew Ashley. None of them knew Candace. Giselle and Robin were friends in real life. That's why they're friends now. They were friends in real life. You know what I'm saying? They were friends in real. So when you're looking at people who have real relationships, it's different. And it hits different on reality when you're doing a reality TV show. When you have a real relationship with somebody, a real friendship, y'all got history, y'all kids played together, you went on vacations together, your parents know each other. Like, it hit different. It hits different. Give us a new Fix My Life type of show with Doc. I'm here for that. I really do want Dr. Frank. But let me tell you what I don't want to happen. And this happens all the time. And then I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off here. What I don't want is for it to dissolve into a celebrity show. And that's what Fix My Life did. We talked about that on Marriage Boot Camp. Because they get the ratings when they bring in these celebrities or these reality stars. They get the ratings, and so they keep doing it. If they bring Dr. Francis and they give Dr. Francis a show, I want real people. I don't want celebrities. Maybe the Love in Huntsville people, because that's how we met him. But I don't want him to be out here fixing. I don't want no more Hazel pop my butt. But I don't want none of that. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? It's entertaining because we already know these people and they already bring a certain fan base with them. But I do not want that. If Dr. Francis comes on here, I want organic situations with real people dealing with real shit. That's what I want. Karen be on Giselle's neck, but that's that fun shade though. Karen and Giselle going back and forth is that fun shade. That's that fun shade. But last year, Karen was getting ready to really go there and tell some real hurtful private business. She was really about to do it. He can do it. See, but that's the problem, Monk Chip. What's going to end up happening is if he does a mixture, it's going to be the same thing with Ayanna Van Zant. If it's a mixture, the shows with the celebrities get the bigger ratings. And so what ends up happening is then producers continue to bring in celebrities. Ayanna said that was part of her frustration, is that they were overproducing the show, bringing in all these reality stars. She didn't want to deal with them anymore. She was sick of the reality TV because they have attitudes and egos and complaints and demands. And she's like, that ain't what I'm here to do. Like, that is not what I'm here to do. But production has to create a show. So when you start bringing in celebrities, their job is to bring in the shows that's going to bring in the most ratings. The celebrity shows bring in the most ratings. So that's when you start phasing out the real people and bringing in more and more celebrities. And for them, it's just a reality show. It's not even about them really trying to get help. It's not about them trying to resolve their issues. They're putting on a show. They're filming a reality show. And that ain't what Ayanna was trying to do. And that's not what Dr. Francis would be doing. But that's what it would be reduced to. If you start bringing in celebrities, That's what it's going to end up happening. If celebs need a place to go, they can go to going down to the Red Table Talk, child. Let Jada fix you up. Nothing gonna be Ayanna putting those $30 now. Right. And that was a real story with a real person. I mean, he went viral when people found out about him. He went viral, but it was a real story. You really got this man out here having all these damn babies. That was some real shit. Karen and Giselle are really friends and love each other. Remember when Karen's parents died, Giselle was the first to jump. She didn't care nothing about her friend. They are playing a game. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. I agree 100%. And that's my whole point, is that we are really dealing with, when you look at these shows and you look at people who were friends in real life, they deal with real stuff versus people that just got to know each other on the show. All right, y'all, I'm about to get off of here. I think I'm gonna still try to do a tribe meeting at about 6. I don't know, but I think I am. I'm about to look now and see what kind of stuff we could talk about. I know it's a lot to talk about, so. But if that's the case, y'all, we'll be back here at 6 o'clock. So y'all going to get yourself together, and I'll meet y'all back here at 6 o'clock. Okay? All right. Peace.